guilty pleasure badass adventure that it just is a rock'em sock'em entertaining film. It delivers on an entertaining crossover that, while it is anything but amazing, is not amazing by any source of the imagination. What is up, my fellow Alien fans? Welcome back to the channel. If you are the returning members, if you're 80.4% who is not subscribed, consider hitting the subscribe button. Welcome back to Epictastic Joshua. My name is Joshua Drake. I talk movies, TV, and on a few occasions music and anime. And with the release of Alien Romulus, I decided to stop and rank all 9 of the Alien franchise from the worst to the best. It's been very long since I did a ranking. I was supposed to do one for Mad Max and Planet of the Apes, and I'm still gonna do them because I love you guys too much. But we are going to talk about all these movies. This franchise has been existing for 45 years, since 1979, and it's continued to this day with a great sequel in Aliens, some frustrating movies, some movies people hate, some movies people are in the middle of, some are gets pleasures, and we have this new film. So this is going to be a very interesting ranking, so I'm very excited to give you guys this new updated ranking, which I feel very happy to finally do one of these again. I'm so excited to do this. So that being said, let's start off the ranking. This is not going to be a very long ranking video, but you know what? This is 9 movies. This is my personal opinion. If you disagree with the choices here, please do not get angry. In fact, I want you all to join me in the description box down below. Let's have a friendly, epitastic, civilized conversation about these movies, because I know we have complicated feelings on this franchise. I'm gonna have to say that directly to you guys in the camera. So let's do this. Easily at number 9, the bottom of the barrel, the worst of the worst, is gonna be Alien Resurrection. It is no secret that I hate this movie from every single decision made, and even watching the documentary again, and watching the movie again, it still baffles me the fact that you have a French director who I know is talented aside from clips from Amelie, which I want to see that movie, and you have writer Joss Whedon, which we can put all the drama about him away. That should have made this a very entertaining little movie. But what we get is not only one of the worst movies ever made for me, it's also one of the worst sequels ever, and it's also one of the worst horror films ever, and it is the worst Alien film of the entire fucking franchise. A couple of things I can say good about it. Yes, it's well shot. It has some competent directing in a few scenes. There are some moments of action that I enjoy. The visuals at times are decent, while some look horrible, especially that alien at the end. What the fuck was that?
You piece of shit!
Hell no.
No mercy!
And I also will say some of the cast here is good. Brad Dourif, despite him being too over the top, is good. I like Ron Perlman, I like Michael Wincott, and I like the Winona Ryder in this movie. So I liked a lot of things in here. And no disrespect to any of you guys, if you enjoy this movie or you consider it to be a guilty pleasure or you can have fun with it, but I despise this movie in the series because this movie goes way too weird at parts. It feels like the studio just mandated this all the way from the directing to the production, because it doesn't feel like the director's own flair is in this. This whole stupid xenomorph and Ripley sexual crap is way too much for this movie, and the movie can be boring as hell. Also, the characters and the writing here is not the greatest here. And on top of that, Sigourney Weaver, despite her giving it her all, this is not the Ellen Ripley we know. And I know she's cloned, but you could do better than that. You can obviously do way better than that. So, what the hell was that? Anytime I watch this movie, I get irritated, but I have it for the Blu-ray collection, and I can easily listen to the commentaries instead, or easily listen to the music as background noise and just do something else. But Alien 3, that's what you get. Coming just above this is Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Again, this was a movie, when I first saw it, I liked it as a kid. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was badass. I thought it was entertaining, of course. I'll say this is not one of the worst movies ever made. But what you are is a complete, infuriating, and disappointing, frustrating sequel here that has little to nothing good about it. This is not the worst film in the Predator franchise. It is the worst in the Alien franchise, second worst, which is why it's number 8. It has a few things going for it. Some of the action, when you can see it, I like some of the performances in here. And I do appreciate the fact that they try to go rated R, and the idea of the Predalien isn't too bad. The biggest problem that this movie has, though, is that for one, you can't see shit in the action scenes. So rewatching this, I have to literally squint my eyes in certain scenes watching this movie because the screen is so dark that you can't see a damn thing watching this. And that really pisses me off with someone with rhinitis, because there is a version of this I really wish that could be released if you just had updated brightness. That way you could make the film look a little more brighter in terms of that. So that is one of my biggest frustrations and biggest pet peeves with this fucking movie. Also, characters are terrible in this. The story has potential, but the way this movie is written and the way the characters are written is like it doesn't matter. This movie is extremely dark without any moments of humor. Do not get me started on the xenomorph impregnating newborn babies. That was just so mean-spirited. And it feels like the direction here is completely lifeless and studio mandated, because between this and Skyline, the brothers Strauss are not competent directors. They're good visual effects artists, but they're not competent directors. At the end of the day, AVP Requiem, terrible movie, but you know what? It's at least a little easier to watch over Alien Resurrection. In 7th place is going to be Alien 3 is 7th place. This is a movie that I have tried multiple times to try to enjoy myself with. And I can never get there when it comes to this movie because of the fact that this movie simply does a lot of things in this movie that should not have been undone in the first place. Mainly the biggest issue here is what they decide to do at the beginning of this movie. Is the first 5 minutes just takes everything that we gain and we built from aliens and just you kill off Hicks and Newt in a very unceremonious way, and to me it makes it so frustrating to watch. So it's just so devastating to enjoy that when you have that. Also, the movie's just way too mean-spirited in points, and this is a movie that went through hellish production troubles, hellish production faults. So I'll say this, it's not one of the worst movies ever. I can acknowledge that this movie is well filmed. Is David Fincher showing potential? I like some of the performances in here and a few of the characters, and you have some good horror and some good xenomorph action for when you do get it. But trying to watch this movie overall, it just makes it really frustrating because of what you did and because of the fact that you decided to land on this story rather than just do what Aliens did and continue the trend of that, and even the first movie. This is not a bad movie. Again, there's things in here I can admire, but what you are is a frustrating mess of a film. I really wish there was a time where I actually defended this movie and I actually said this was not as bad as people made it out to be. But every time I've watched this, even with the assembly cut, this movie becomes more and more frustrating for me to enjoy. And I tried my damnness to like this movie, but it's just a movie that frustrates me at the end of the day. Coming in 6th place is a huge step up in quality is going to be Alien Covenant. Really, my only issues when it comes to this movie are some of the characters here are not the best, and it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a tie-in to Prometheus, or does it want to be a tie-in to the actual alien such? And I will say there are some extreme character decisions here in the writing that really hurts this movie. And I hate the twist ending of this movie. Now, I was a defender of that twist ending for a long time because it was something different. But having watched this movie, especially with the audio commentary, this just doesn't really cut it for me. The issues I have with this movie, of course, are still there in terms of that, and also some of the CGI on the alien, of course, really does kind of frustrates me. And I hate the fact that you killed Noomi Rapace off in between movies. That was fucked up, you know. But I will say, Alien Covenant, I can enjoy this movie for what it is. I like the cinematography aspect. It looks beautifully well shot. Some of the visual effects at times, especially on the xenomorph when it's practical, is entertaining. I also really like the story that they try to give. And Ridley Scott's direction, while not the best, I'll say he still tries to pack a punch despite it not being the best. Some of the cast I like. Michael Fassbender. You also got Catherine Waterston, who is a very good actress. I like some of the supporting cast, like Billy Crudup and Denny McBride as Tennessee. The score I like, the production design, and when I don't think of it too seriously, I can enjoy this and I can tolerate it. It's just those issues stop this from being one of my favorite Alien films. And every time I watch it, even with the director commentary, I'm like, there are some decisions here that you should have thought twice about. I understand why a lot of people hate it, but for me, I don't hate it nearly as much as everyone else. Coming in 5th place is going to be Prometheus. Now, this is a movie that you either love it or you hate it. And there's also a movie where you're in the middle. There are things in this movie I can agree on. Again, some of the decisions in the story are not the best thought out. There's also some moments in here where I will say it is a bit of a disappointment considering the promise that you're following up. And also, there's a lot of fascinating ideas in some of the characters here that it could have made for an interesting and extended edition here. But some of the structure in here and some of the writing and some of the decision making in this film really does kind of bring up a lot more questions and answers. And I did get some of my answers explored. There is some things they try to do with philosophical questions that it attempts to answer but doesn't 100% fully through. There are also some things I actually do like in here, like some of the performances, like Noomi Rapace, Idris Elba, Michael Fassbender, and also a few others, even Logan Marshall Green. But there's also some things here that is trying to be a regular sci-fi movie and it's trying to be an alien film, and it can't really decide which one it wants to be. Not only that, the characters are also not the best, despite them being acted very well. They make stupid decisions in here. And also, I really did not like Charlize Theron's character in this movie. She's a bit of a prude and a bit of an asshole. She's a great actress. She is doing a good job. And Guy Pearce's version of Wayland, or whoever he is a bit of a complicated thing. I'm on the positive side of the spectrum despite my mixed reactions. But you know what? I can still enjoy Prometheus for what it is. And I definitely did enjoy it for what it is. Now we're at the top 4 movies in the Alien franchise. So number 4 is going to be Alien Romulus. This just came out and I have seen this already, so I will say my review speaks more of itself. It's completely spoiler free for you guys, so I ain't trying to spoil shit. So I'll say this, I did enjoy myself watching this. I did have a fun time with it. Of course, this is nowhere near Alien and Aliens, and it still has the same issues I had with some of the other Alien films, with some of the characters being better than others, like Archie Renals and those characters. But I really do like Kaylee Spaney in the movie. I really liked David Johnson as Andy. Isabella Merced is good. This is also a very well shot film by our cinematographer, and Fede Alvarez, he does a good job of homaging the original two movies while also trying to be his own. Again, where the issues lie with me is that I wish some of the other supporting characters got a little bit more development to them. There is a few moments of CG here, but you know what, that's besides the point, because it does look damn good and is overshadowed by so many good practical effects. And the first 25 minutes of the last 25 minutes of the movie is not going to work for everybody. So you definitely have to know what you're getting yourself into going into those last couple of minutes there. So that's also one of the things I will give credit to. That's not the best. And I will say it does take a while to get going, but when you overlook all of that, the rest of this movie is entertaining as hell. I enjoyed these new characters. I enjoyed Rain. She's a badass. I would like to see more what they do with her. It's a very well shot film. There's some good xenomorph action, but also some extreme claustrophobic, horrifying and gory moments where you get the xenomorph killing and doing his thing, especially at the end. Holy shit, that shit was brutal. Also, on top of that, there is some good visuals in this, so I definitely got a lot of what you get out to. And if you're looking for that sweet Carnage candy, you definitely go get that sweet Carnage candy. So yeah, you definitely do get a lot of that here. And also, the sound design in this movie here is very good here. So some might disappoint it. It does play it safe and doesn't take a lot of risk thematically. But you know what? I think it's a welcome sight for a franchise that I feel like, even though I enjoy some of it, it was a little bit of its last leg. But you know what? I had a really good time with Alien Romulus, and I can't wait to watch it again. Now, the top three. Coming in third place is going to be Alien vs. Predator. Now keep in mind, this is so high because of my nostalgia for this. This was my first Alien movie and my first Predator film that was introduced to me by my mom's friend who had this on DVD many years ago. So I hold a lot of nostalgia to this. And I just really enjoyed this as a dumb, fun, guilty pleasure, badass adventure. That it just is a rock'em sock'em entertaining film. It delivers on an entertaining crossover that, while it is anything but amazing, is not amazing by any source of the imagination. But I will say this about it. I feel that this is just an entertaining movie that has tons of fun, and I just enjoy the movie for what it is. It still maintains some of the brutality of it, even though despite it being PG-13, but I have a lot of fun, guilty pleasure enjoyment out of it. The only real issues that I really have is that the script is heavily flawed in terms of characters, and the story is not the best, and I miss that rated R nature here. And the Predators do look way too goddamn bulky for me, like they've been eating KFC and shit, which I can appreciate them trying to do something different with the Predator, but not that damn bulky. And some of the editing and such can be a little bit jarring in some of the action. But for what I got, I will say there is a lot more good than bad in here. I like the cinematography, I like the action, I like the practical suits. Sanaa Lathan is pretty good. I like a few of the other casts as well. And that last half of seeing the xenomorph fighting Sanaa Lathan and our main Predator, who is a fucking G, makes it all worth it. That's the best part of the movie for me, is that last half. But you know what? It's still entertaining. Not everyone loves it. Not everyone feels like I do. A lot of y'all hate this because you wanted more from this. But you know what? between Prey and Alien Romulus being good, I think there could be potential for another stab and another chance at doing an Alien versus Predator crossover with good characters and good writing. I believe in that. But overall, until then, despite me not having the movie disc on DVD, I have a hell of a fun time with this movie. Which that leads me into my top 2, and number 2 is going to be Alien. What more can I say about this amazing masterclass of a film? It just hit everything right. It just does everything so right. I fucking love this movie. This is in my 100 favorites of all time, and this movie sets up a lot. It was the first movie in the series. The characters are engaging and fantastic here, and you, despite not having much development, you get to care about each and every character, and that's what I love about a movie like this, that you get to care about the characters. The xenomorph is not shown all that much, which leads to amazing tension and great suspense. When that alien starts killing people left and right, it's awesome. It sets up some fantastic ideas and follows through on them. Ash is an android and trying to do what's instructed. Ripley is a great example of female empowerment, and she's fucking awesome here. I love some of the characters here that you definitely get. It is a slow-paced film, which is why it's not my number 1. But it builds and adds to the tension that Ridley Scott is going for. And just some iconic moments like the chest burster coming out, and also just so much shit that you're getting in this. This is what I want in sci-fi horror. It doesn't always have to be about the creature feature campiness or showing the creature. Give me a good story and characters, and everything will come a long way. So that, I definitely really enjoyed a lot of what we got. So, Alien, you are a fucking badass, and you're one of my favorites in my 100 favorites of all time. But, the number 1, the favorite, is gonna be Aliens. Some people are an Aliens person. I'm more of an Aliens guy. Of course, the original Alien is a classic, but this took everything that we know and everything that we built and we claim and we lost, and it is just awesome. Even with the special edition, which I don't really feel is long at all, I have so much fun with this movie. It's a great story about Ripley facing her trauma, overcoming the fear, and taking on a group of soldiers fighting the xenomorphs. Also, we're mixed in with her protecting nudes, and that has a great emotional weight. To top it all off, you have incredible direction by James Cameron. It is fantastic. He took everything that we know and we love from the first movie and makes it his own, and just gets your adrenaline going. It's just fucking badass, y'all. It's fucking badass, y'all. Woo! Shit, yes. Also, I just really enjoy a lot of the crazy awesomeness here. So, you get some great, lovable characters, some outstanding practical effects here. Great score by James Horner. I love the performances. Michael Biehn, Sigourney Weaver, who got an Oscar nominated. Paul Reiser, who you love to hate his character. You got, of course, the other girl of the group, which she's a hottie and she's a badass. You have Lance Henriksen as Bishop, Carrie Henn. It's the cherry on top with that badass final battle with one of the most iconic movie lines ever. Y'all know what I'm talking about if you've seen this movie. If you ain't seen this, you don't know what the hell you missing. You missing out on a good movie. This is not only one of the greatest films ever made, one of the best sequels ever made, one of the best sci-fi action movies ever made, and it also not only does a good job at keeping the horror vibes of Alien, but this is my favorite of the franchise and my favorite James Cameron film for a reason. And it's just a pure feat to watch. Now, if Alien 3 would have kept the same tone to this, I think Alien 3 would have been a good conclusion to this trilogy with Sigourney Weaver, but that never happened. But other than that, this is just a fucking kick-ass movie that I just have so much damn fun watching, and there is not a single thing I would change in the original classic. This was fucking epic-tastically badass. I fucking love this movie. And if you ain't seen this movie, what the fuck you doing? Go watch this shit. It's badass, y'all. It's badass. Well, that's gonna do it for the video that you just watched. If you want to see more, my channel icon is up here. If you want to see more content from me, all my social medias are right here in this end card. I will also leave a playlist and a video here for you to see what the channel is about. As always, acknowledge me, stay epitastic, join the epitasticness, and you guys keep it cool.